Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Norway Chess Classical 2023. Today is day 5 and we are having very interesting matches. After yesterday's Gukesh versus Carlsen, we are having Nordirbek versus Gukesh. Let me quickly show you the standings until the game begin. Welcome everybody. Hope everything is fine. The sound, the energy, all of you have had dinner. Let's just look at this. This is the pairing for today. Abdusattorov versus Gukesh, Caruana versus Armageddon, Wesley versus Firuza, Nakamura versus Aryantari, and we are having Magnus Carlsen versus Anish Giri. Now, isn't that awesome? Let me show you the standings. Fabiano leading 10.5, Nakamura on 6.5, Firuza 6, Gukesh 5.5, Anish on 5, Abdusattorov also on 5, Wesley on 5 and Magnus on 4.5. Armageddon 4 and Aryantari 2. This is the standing and let's check if the games have begun. No, games are yet to begin. 1 second, round 5 there. They are yet to begin. Until then, I'll keep the games and let me also open the chat. Hi everyone. What's up in life? Okay, there it is. So guys, the games are yet to begin, but meantime, what's up with all of you? And shall we also put the poll for Gukesh's game today? Yesterday, I think we were all up until late night. The Armageddon and the game, it was all a lot of fun. मज़ा ही आ गया कल तो क्या ही खेला था गुकेश मैग्नस के साथ वो भी. Daniel says Magnus looks like a serial killer in... Arre baapre. Yes, serial killer on the chessboard in this picture. Maybe that can be something which we can add. Oh, the games have not yet begun or what? On leeches at least. It's actually 2 minutes late, yeah? 2 minutes ago. Or am I missing something? Broadcast, watch... Broadcast, Norway Chess. No, I'm not missing anything. Let's wait. Rakshit says, just deployed the Chesspa bot on ChessBase India server today afternoon. It can help you find chess tournaments and keep you updated with the latest chess news from chessbase.in. Wow, Rakshit, क्या ही काम कर रहे हो? They have started. तो इधर क्यों नहीं? Why on leeches? Guys, is it my problem or everybody is not able to see the games on leeches? Maybe until that time I may need to figure out another way as well. So let me just do that. But please do confirm once if it is my problem or if it is the leeches problem. They have started. Okay. No, games have started. That's true. But on leeches, have they started for all of you? See, I'm refreshing here. And it's not starting for me. So until that time, maybe we can watch on some other place. But if they have not started even for you, then maybe some problem for leeches. Yeah, possible. Games, there we have. Ah, yes, over here I have, but that's on chess.com here. I'm not able to see games on leeches, says Dakshra. Okay, thank you. So maybe I think it's a leeches issue, but never mind. Until that time, we could have, until it starts here, let's have it somewhere else. Let me just take the screen there. Oops. One second. No, the games have not started. Leeches issue. Ah, okay. That's a leeches issue. I get it. So let's see here. I'm setting up another screen, guys. Give me one moment. No worries. We can sort anything and everything. All problems of life can be sorted very easily. ठीक है. Transition there. Okay, cool. There we have it. If the games begin here on leeches, let me know so that I'll shift. Until that time, we can have this screen here where the games have begun. And Gukesh is black. Let me flip the board. Finally, hello everyone in the chat. Sakar Chess Ambarna. Looks like leeches. Yes, everybody. Not leeches issue. Exactly. Organizers don't share games and timing with leeches. Leeches tries its best. But कल तो दिख रहा था ना रक्षित, तो फिर do you think it would be the same issue? Otherwise yesterday also it would not have been on. Anyway, d4 nf6. Gukesh goes knight f6, c4 e6, knight f3 by Abdusattorov. It's going towards Ragozin maybe. d5, knight c3, and Gukesh goes c6. He goes to the Slav-like structure here. e3 by Nordirbeg and knight bd7. Guys, which is one of the most important moment which we remember? Nordirbeg versus Gukesh. Queen c2 there, and Gukesh goes bishop d6. And look at what, guess what next move, if those who have not seen it yet. Guess what Nordirbeg plays here. Of course, it's opening, one of the standard moves for sure, but I'm sure many of you don't play this from white, so makes sense to guess it. Yes, Olympiad. That was a big heartbreak, but after that Gukesh has got his revenge. And but once again, this match, this pair, Gukesh versus Nordirbeg, is very very interesting. Maza aata hai. Both are super fighters. Do not give up. So I don't know what would the poll say today. Is it going to go to an Armageddon, or how is it going to be? I should put up a poll very quickly right now. Once again, give me a moment. What is your prediction? Sagar will also join us later. Gukesh beats Nadir. Okay. There we have the poll. Okay guys, vote it. Vote करना वहाँ पे. ठीक है. Shall we look at the games? Has leeches also started? No, nothing on leeches yet. So we will have to be looking at, oops, Norway. This one. Wait, I think I must, oh my god. I should take care of my WhatsApp, I think. Yeah, this one is fine. Yes, absolutely guys. G4. G4 was played by Nordirbeg, and Gukesh is thinking. We will check the opening as well, but let us not forget that we also have another interesting game, which is Magnus versus Anish. And what's going on there? Magnus versus Anish. Let's take black for Anish. And Magnus goes d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5, g3 this time by Magnus. Anish goes bishop e7 here, no bishop e4 check, No Ragozin. Bishop goes to g2. He castles. Magnus castles and Anish takes on c4. It's going to queen's gambit accepted maybe. Knight c3 and knight to c6 by Anish. Magnus takes the center control with pawns on e4 and d4, and Anish right now is thinking what to do here. So this is Magnus versus Anish. We have Anish could go a6 trying with the idea of b5 and Magnus will play a4. That would be typical. Another idea for Anish is also to go rook b8 b5. So we will see. Anish is generally very well prepared in the opening. Sakar says me for Armageddon as always. अरे क्या बात है. Catalan setup versus QGA in Magnus versus Anish. If I am not wrong, the classical matches between them, Anish had beaten Magnus. So Magnus will try to push for a win. Classical match, Kabhi, when was it? Yeah, I think Anish had tweeted, na, in between. Yes, you remember. Eating Maggie and watching Magnus game. Okay, that's cool. सही है, very cool. And let's यहाँ पे थोड़ा switch करने को I don't find it as easy as leeches, but anyway, we will have to deal with it, guys. So let's deal with it. Gukesh versus Abdusattorov. G4 and Gukesh takes the pawn there. He goes for this line with knight takes g4. I think we will be checking the opening later. Rook g1, definitely a thematic move. You're giving the pawn, so naturally you want to take the control, plus you're also skewer attacking. This guy goes queen f6 and says yes, you can capture my knight, because in return, that has happened by the way. Rook takes g4, queen takes f3, and this says good move. भाई ये तो गुड मूव ही है ना. इफ़ यू डोंट टेक दिस नाइट तो कैसे चलेगा. h3 by Norderberg. He defends the rook over here, and Gukesh is thinking right now. Guys, black to play है यहाँ पे. I'm sure this is a new line, or have you guys seen it before any time, this line? If you have not seen, then there's a lot to learn today from this one. Can you go h5? That's Rakshit's question here. And what is your plan for rook g7, or do you intend to give it? Or is there anything better? g6 by white. Castle, says Arav. Yes, castle also seems possible, but white has a very not creative, but a very thematic move here in a way. Actually anti-thematic, I should say. But what can white play here for castle? Why did not take g7 in the early move? For queen f3, rook g7. That's okay, a good question. Very good question. We will check that out. Yes, Firefly. Absolutely. Vishwa says, yeah, Shark had played it. Okay, cool. Yes, e4. Actually, quite interesting that when your king is in the center and you are opening the center, so in a way it is anti-thematic, as I said, but the theory is developed here, and this is opening, and here white is himself wanting to open the king, which is really not a common thing to see there. Of course, black definitely wants to open the center even further. So what do I say? There is one theme I always tell you to keep in mind. Whether it works or not is another thing. But whenever there are such three pawns, a triangle, is it a triangle, guys? कुछ तो कमी लग रही है triangle में, but let's call it a triangle for now, or whatever shape it is. What is the move which you should give a thought? What is the move which you should give a thought? Because many times that move is like, अरे यार क्या ही move है, ऐसा हो जाता है. It's that kind of a move. Black to play. DE, okay. Ah, yes, there you are, Firefly. Well done. The 4 squares. Remember, you have to consider challenging the pawn. and all the four pawns over here, they are in front of each other. It's like a proper war happening there. So you have to consider this idea, and then there will be a lot of tension to calculate ye mara to, wo mara to, ye mara to, and all of that, which is okay. Because if it works, it's going to be an amazing move and an opponent is going to be shocked if he is not considered. So in this case, black is still further opening the center, and kahi na kahi there will be some tricks with the bishop on c8. Okay, so that is all preparation. So I'm not going into it because why e4? It's a very rare scenario here, e4 working as such. So this is a possibility. But the question somebody had asked, why not rook takes g7? And that is definitely a very good question. You're winning a pawn, so why you're not going to take that? So black to play. What are you going to play here? Yes, Arav, Bhavesh, Sumit, Adarsh, absolutely. Because you are also winning the pawn, the h pawn, and this pawn can just simply roll ahead. That's one thing, that you're losing the pawn. But any better ideas? Yes, there we have Saurabh, Agnel, knight f6, bringing your knight to f6 right now. With this is all theory, guys, but the knight will jump to g4. There is still there are attacks over here happening, and I think in general black is okay to get compensation. Black is okay that he doesn't immediately get the pawn. Right now, if a move like h3 is played, black is okay to develop bishop d7 with the ideas of long castle and breaking in the center. So all of this is basically preparation, and majorly he has a very active queen, plus he is planning to quickly develop long castle and attack the weaknesses here, take some advantage of maybe the white king until it stays in the center. So even this thing like bishop d2 long castle will not be so easy. f2 will be lost. So let's see what happens. I agree that same for f7, but it's in general black's development will be faster, I believe. So going back to the game, queen takes f3 had happened, and Nordirbek has gone h3. Now Gukesh is thinking, because as we were just looking at, if he goes knight f6 here, then instead of rook g7, white has an intermezzo, and which is you attack the queen first and force the queen to go back, only move, and then finally once again white must find this move which you know, but you have to use it at the right time. And which was the move which we were talking about? स्वरूप नहीं, टिकट नहीं है, फ्री है. जीत आस्क आर यू ऑस्ट्रेलियन? ऐसा लगा क्यों रे तुमको? इज माई एक्सेंट ऑस्ट्रेलियन? बिशप g2 e4. Yes, e4, Saurabh Bisht, well done. e4 is an important move once again. This queen definitely is attacked, and if you try to take here, then white to play. Wow. White to play and you win. White to play and win. नो 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 नो, क्या चल रहा है गाइज? क्वीन ट्रैप करो. मिस कैसे किया? ओके, वेरी फ्यू पीपल आर अलर्ट दिस टाइम. नरेंद्र, देवेन, भावेश, कृष्णव, शोभा, Saurabh, well done. Rook g5. And there you have the queen is trapped. बहुत सही trap है, quite unusual, and all the squares are covered. मज़ा ही आ गया. So anyway, Gukesh is still thinking. He's definitely, I don't think he'll go knight. Definitely, and I think नहीं हो सकता है. I don't think he'll go knight f6. What Gukesh might consider is castle. That's possible. Or maybe he'll bring his queen back. Maybe we should also check the opening, because this one is a pretty cool opening right now which we are having there. d4. I'll bring up the board. Just a moment. Today I'll also arrange for live board. Guys, has it started on leeches by chance or not yet? Yes, started. अरे ए नहीं, not yet started. उल्लू मत बनाओ यार. So that's why I think it's taking a bit of time for me to just adjust my mindset to the surroundings. पर आप लोग मैगी खाओ, पिज्ज़ा खाओ, just have a good time there. Okay, time to switch to ChessBase 17 there. Oopsie. Yup. There we have ChessBase 17, and there I am. Transition. Okay guys, give me a moment here. ठीक है. So c4, d4 and f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5 has been played. Let's check आगे क्या हुआ. Knight c3, c6, e3, knight bd7, knight c3, c6, e3 over here, knight bd7. You can say 55,000 games. Man, that's huge. Absolutely huge. Queen c2, bishop d6, and here I guess he played g4, right? Seventh move g4 was played. Yes, he goes knight. Gukesh takes on g4. There were several other options, h6 and d takes c4 and knight takes g4. But Gukesh goes for knight g4, bravely takes the pawn and allows such a variation with rook g1. Knight h2 is another main line where you can actually take this pawn there, and you can see which top players have played. Kramnik has played. Okay, a few top players have played that with knight takes h2, bishop takes h2 and rook g7. So this is another option there. What Gukesh did was he went queen f6, 177 games here, rook takes g4, and now he takes queen takes f3. Now who has played it from black? Vishy has played it from black. Wow. And Carlsen versus Vishy also has happened, whereas Vishy has also beaten Mamedov. And with white, Carlsen has played this Mamedov, Aronian. So it has been played by many strong players. You can see Nihal has played it with black here from India. Sandipan has played it. Harika has played it. Quite interesting. Here Nodirbeg went for h3. And that's the reason Gukesh is thinking. Because if I must see here, at least, Mega is not updated, but until that point of time, h3 was not at all played. So that is why he's thinking, and Leech's games have started. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. No guys, they have not yet started. कितनी झूठी खबर दे रहे हो तुम लोग, मतलब कितनी झूठी नहीं? Yeah, it's not yet started. I mean, they are having old games here, at least for me. Is it not the same for you? So h3 is not played, guys. And if we see the main line with rook g7, for black you can see knight f6 and knight f8 were the two moves which were played. Let's see if it converts. Okay, if we go knight f6, Nihal has played it and beaten Ronak Sadhwani. Setu Raman has also played it, and h3. So there is a possibility that if Gukesh goes knight f6, it can convert here. And now there are several ways that black has continued with. One is d takes c4, one is going h6, one is bishop d7. So these are the several ways. What has Nihal played? Nihal went for queen f5. He went for queen f5 and challenged the queen. Because material is equal. He had, remember, he had taken the g4 pawn. And he has given the g7 instead of that. Oops, sorry. So that way. If Gukesh thinks of something else other than knight f6, then if he goes knight f8, then there is no h3. So no, mostly it won't convert into something like this. What else can Gukesh do? No, there is no queen f6. So high chances that it could convert in knight f6. Gukesh is still thinking after h6. No, he goes queen f6. He goes back queen f6. I'll bring up the board. Yeah, I'll bring up the board here. And he has decided to protect the g7 pawn, which means currently he is a pawn up. Gukesh is one full pawn up. Thank you, Sayan. Thank you very much. Reload किया. Open Chess. Games are back. Games are back on Chess. ठीक है, मतलब problem मेरा ही रहेगा. I will open Chess. Yes. Now it's back. Cool. Great. By the way, that is Magnus versus Anish Giri, which is also very, very interesting. After dc4, Magnus had played e4, a6 by Anish, and Magnus goes for h4. Wow, already h4. That's very, very interesting. मतलब generally what we do is आराम से queen is developed, थोड़ा development हो चुका है. You have some options, but then you want to confuse your opponent, but you also want to, you know that in long term it's going to be good. But for Magnus, 9th move, already he goes h4. Now that is really interesting, because in a way, is he not allowing b5 very quickly? He is okay with the whole dynamics here. He is preparing the attack. Queen e2, rook d1. Let's see, this is also very interesting. In Gukesh's game, after which is this game? Mamedara Gukesh. Isn't it wrong? ये मेरे साथ ही हो रहा है क्या? ओ ये तो हिकारू वर्सेस मैग्नस है गाइज. Round 3 games. Okay. Look at this. I will show you that it was not round 3 game. Let me show you. Because it's really needed to be shown. It's the same for me when I refresh. Look here guys, it's round 5 for me. Seriously, right? Some issue, yeah? Broadcast, watch, broadcast, Norway, Anish versus Magnus, round 5. This is the game. They have forgot to update the player game, but the game is this, right? क्या ही झोल चल रहा है आज. E4 on the board in Gukesh's game. We are okay with the names, okay? We are okay with the name mess up. Okay, just the name mess up. So this is Gukesh's game. And it's back. The game, yeah, over here it's back. I think only on the broadcast. Over here it is wrong, but here it is all fine. So yeah, thank you, Himang. That was really helpful because I would have really thought that I am going crazy and maybe insane, yeah? So that really is very helpful. Perfect. Finally, man. Finally. There we have. Okay. He goes queen f6 and Nodirbek. By the way, Gukesh came down to 1 hour 36 minutes. Note that. So opening wise, Nodirbek has done a great job in surprising Gukesh. And we are seeing Gukesh being very well prepared, or at least, having generally more time than his opponent in the openings. Nodirbek very quickly goes e4, just a 2 to 3 minute thought, and he has gone e4. Today we are seeing this move with the king in the center, a very anti-thematic move that you are trying to open the center, but black's pieces are yet to develop, and that's why it works. But one question to all of you, with e4, what are the moves from black side you are considering here? For Gukesh, what are you going to think? What quickly comes to the mind when such a pawn is pushed? Push karo, khush karo. Khush raho. Sentil, it says, it seems I'm late. Can you explain what's going on? Firstly, Sentil, बहुत झोल चल रहा था, so there was a lot of chaos there. Games were not starting here, so इसके लिए not a big problem. But what has happened today? Slav in Gukesh versus Nodirbek, and Gukesh has played a very interesting line with g4 pawn sack. So right now Nodirbek has played a g4 pawn sack, and right now Gukesh is a pawn up, but Nodirbek is well prepared. So will Gukesh be able to stop Nodirbek from out preparing him is the main question. Here I am already getting some candidate moves. e5 by Narendra. Nikhil's h5 by Narendra. Nikhil says e5. d4 another option by Himanshi. h5 another person. e5 more people. I think generally these are the 3 to 4 moves. But did nobody, literally nobody, consider that ये pawn जब आगे बढ़ा तब दुनिया में क्या बदला? Literally no one. Exactly, d4 pawn. Absolutely. कोई तो बोलो queen d4 भी है candidate move. That's true. Sentil, Saurabh, Celebrian, Rajkumar. So that is something to consider for sure, because this is the first question. कि what if I capture another pawn of yours? That too a central pawn. That too, मतलब ये रानी देखो ना, ये हैरान करके छोड़ रही है. रानी हैरान करके छोड़ रही है. रानी हैरानी है. ठीक है, निखिलेश जी को अपन बताएंगे रानी हैरानी है. ऐसा टाइटल दे दो कोई तो. Okay, but queen d4 over here, and what is Nodirbek having in mind? That's the main question. Nodirbek is planning to develop with a tempo. The queen is constantly being attacked. So bishop e3 again. Once again, the queen will need to go back. And now white will again attack bishop g5. And here they have a chance, guys, to draw the game. Can you believe? Do you think कि ये repetition हो सकता है? Do you think? Such a repetition is possible. No, that is cool because already Gukesh has heard that and he says, no, I am not going for such a draw at least right now in 12 to 13 moves. So, what he does is for e4, he doesn't take the pawn. Obviously, Nordirberg also with white may not have gone for a draw. But Gukesh first goes h5 and attacks this rook on g4. Rakshit says, join ChessBase India Discord, guys. Nightbot says follow ChessBase India on Instagram here. Awesome. Nightbot का नाम भी रक्षित रख सकता है, रक्षित का नाम Nightbot भी रख सकता है. Both work. Okay, so here we have a question. Mayur says queen d4, bishop e3, queen f6. Then I guess bishop g5, queen e5. So Mayur had a possibility of not going for a draw. Queen e5. Then bishop f4. Yeah, that was a draw. I thought you were suggesting something else. Of course, there will be possibilities not to go into a draw, but h5 was played by Gukesh, and Nordirberg is thinking where to take his rook, because rook g5 gaya, so it is taking away bishop square. Where else to go? If rook g2 gaya, so it will take away the square, but it might not be so important because the bishop might want to develop on d3, and otherwise you might want to go rook g1, but at the end of it, rook g1 क्या g1 देने वाला है? Yeah, I know the typical g1 jokes. So h5 has been played, and definitely Nordirberg is put to some thought here. Nordirberg out of his preparation says Rakshit. e5 blunder? Where are you asking this? Over here. Yes, over here. Again, good question here. e5 right now, because you are attacking this holy queen over here. So, what can black play? Acha, Frederick. Oh, Frederick Friedel. Great commentary, Amruta. You make everything wonderfully clear. I didn't realize how strong. Frederick, now you're... Yeah, it's after 9 years you realize how strong I am. Maybe I should beat you. But guys, we have Frederick Friedel, the founder of ChessBase, which is the oldest chess company here, which we have all this ChessBase softwares right now and a wonderful database. So please do welcome Frederick in the chat. And also he's been the one who used to start, he started cracking the 1st April jokes on chessbase.com, and I think Sagar kind of continued on ChessBase India with using that same concept. So inspired by Frederick for sure. Knight e5. Absolutely. You're taking this pawn here, and the whole point is there is a check and you do not have time to move this rook. So going back, e5 was a good question, good pawn fork, but doesn't work right now. And if the rook goes back somewhere, then once more, if you take queen takes d4, the same thing still exists with bishop e3. But for queen e5, this time there is no bishop f4. What does white have for queen e5 in mind? Because otherwise white is just 2 pawns down. Now that's a huge amount of material. Find the best move for white. Okay, checkmate, thank you, but I am not remembering that game anyway right now. I'm very happy that I've forgotten. Yes, absolutely. Rakshit, Archana, Learn, Ashutosh, Bhavesh, well done. Rook g5 is the move here. You are attacking the queen. Once again, if queen goes to f6, then there is takes, whatever you're taking, e takes d5, then there is c takes d5. If you take here, then this knight will jump in, and obviously it's going to be very difficult for black here. White is going to long castle next. So going back, that's not happening, and even if you go queen h2, a similar thing coming in the air. So taking on d4 means you tell your opponent ki you can develop, you can take, you know, very quick development, and I am going to be in trouble. So you don't want to do that. Norway like player, if he gets that opportunity, he's going to be very happy with it. So here Gukesh goes bishop f4, challenges this bishop and wants to exchange the dark square bishop, which all the time was giving some threats with bishop e3, bishop g5, bishop f4, and so on, so on. So finally he's saying that let me just get rid of you. And now if white goes e5, then Gukesh will go queen h4. The queen cannot be attacked, so it's finally placed over there. And Gukesh is not worrying about keeping the g7 pawn with him. He has captured one pawn. He is okay to give this pawn. So that is okay for him. Majorly, he would love to develop and long castle. So bishop f4, very interesting play, very original play, because considering what Norway will be preparing, sometimes you do not focus on some simple ideas, and these are more practical, that I am challenging your bishop. So nice move by Gukesh. It's not going to be the first engine move or something like that, but it's definitely going to be more stress free during the game. So that is Gukesh versus Norway. Going back to Anish's game, because Magnus had played h4 and Anish thinks how long. Anish goes h6 over here, but look at this. He had to spend 20 minutes to make this move. Whereas Magnus right now is thinking, Magnus had 1 hour 57 minutes 57 seconds when he played h4. So that means he definitely was prepared. And right now he has been thinking since last 7-8 minutes. So what he is planning to do, we will see. But Anish did not go for any b5 and all. It definitely gives some fear after h4 that white's pieces are coming in with the center to an attack. So Anish is trying to keep control on the king side as well. Going to Fabiano's game, something crazy is happening there. English opening they played. Just very quickly going through the moves, converted into, okay, something like Anglo-Indian maybe. d4, bishop e2, d4, queen takes e4, d takes c3, castle, a3, cb2, intermezzo, bishop b2 you have to take. Now bishop goes to c5 and bishop d3. Of course, you can see white has one isolated, second isolated, and these are weaknesses, but in return he has got quick development, and these are the weak points there. So g6, and suddenly comes e6. What a move by Fabi. Fabi once again in complete control of this position. Yesterday he played an amazing combination, and today also it seems like he is in the same mood. So e6 by him with a lot of ideas. If the queen gets to e5, h4, h5, h6, everything looks pretty dangerous there. Queen goes to e7. He goes rook e1 here. By the way, for e6, if one question to all of you, if f takes e6, white to play. How is Fabiano better with both colors? Every single game. Man's playing really well, okay? Yeah, he is just, I think his preparation has been amazing in this tournament, by the way. What a chaotic opening, says Himang. I think that was for Gukesh, right? Yes, absolutely. That has been again one of the original openings, original position which we have got at. Somehow Gukesh's game, either he goes into something which is very original, or his opponent plays something else, and then what Gukesh replies, it generally takes into again originality. I guess it's not expected much. Yes, guys, queen e5, and that's the deadly diagonal there. Definitely black is not going to even consider that. Even if he goes bishop e6, the same thing, queen e5. Also, if you get f6, important to notice this is hanging, too much hanging. So let's go back. e6, great move. Queen e7 was played by Mamedaro. Here he goes rook f e1. Now he did not go queen e5 this time, because c5 was protected by the queen, so that's why he can go f6 now, and next move he will collect the pawn on e6. That's why rook f e1 with the idea of queen e5 maybe, or even he takes f7, even just keeping it slow, that's possible. But what if bishop takes e6 over here? If bishop takes e6, the same idea, queen e5 f6, because this time you have rook e1, so e6 will be hanging. a5 played by Mamedaro. Look at Mamedaro, he's like itna either there is attack over here, there is the whole thing coming here, but what he says is I literally don't care. He copies Nakamura's style and he goes a5. I mean, not literally copy, but a5 basically says that I don't really care. And he may have a rook lift in the air with rook a6. So that's a pretty cool move we are looking at. Queen f4 by Fabi. In fact, Bar, why doesn't it like it? I don't know, but because it looks like a good move. f6 by Mamedaro over here, and Fabi goes bishop e4. Now this move once again was not a very easy move there. What is he planning? Is he planning to do something for bishop takes e6? Yes. White to play. What should he play? Hello Ashwat Raja. How are you? Long time. Yes, bishop d5. Again, there is a pin there, so that's not going to work. So bishop e4, stopping bishop e6 ideas there. Also keeping an eye on this b7 point there. What Shakhriyar right now is doing is he's thinking how to face it. So he is thinking Fabi does have slightly better position here, and if we go here, your question would be that why did the evaluation bar not like the move f6? So this question, let me ask you, what else was the evaluation bar he was suggesting for black? Guys, remember your promise. You have promised to not look at the engines. You are going to be original, creative, and using your own brains. Unless you can get access of any other brain, that is different, but please use your own brain. Okay, so few people are saying this this move rook a6 over here, and very good suggestion. What if rook a6? Quite a simple suggestion there. I think this is one more question to all of you, but before that, all those who said fe6, yes, that was an important move and Mamedaro missed it. What you can check out is this bishop on c5, the rook on f8, and f2 is coming under pressure. What is white going to do? What was his plan? Queen e5 maybe? But bishop takes f2 check incoming. And obviously you're not going to put your king on f1 in front of this rook. That would be just a disaster. So king h1, and what can black play over here? What can black play? I have so many questions. Once again, Caruana is playing such a creative position. Maza aa raha hai. We are going to look at other games also, but believe me, they are going to take more time. Their openings need more time to think. Aditya says sorry for being late. I was playing some bullet. अरे आदित्य, अभी बुलेट खेलने का टाइम नहीं, अभी क्लासिकल देखने का टाइम है. Who's gonna stop Fabi? Says Mukunta. Maybe Gukesh. Guys, the question is after king h1, what should black play? That is the question over here. And you guys are saying king f7, trying to run away. That is your thing. But it's too early because I have not even given a check. And rook is coming to f4. Do you want to go king e8 here? Maybe you want, but this, look at this, a very classy move here. Rook f4. If you take, I take, attack this bishop here, and where if you go back something maybe over here once again, then the point is my other rook is going to come soon in the game. Once again queen e5 with the ideas of queen h8 check. If you try to go queen f8, queen h7, it's going to get very risky for your king there. So important at this moment, when I asked you what should black play, is black pay this one, getting out one rook from the board is important, as there is no checkmate here. There is no checkmate, and that's why this works. Bishop takes, king goes to e8, and you don't really have time, because if you go rook e1, then there is queen h7. Okay, so going back, very surprising that Mamedharov did not go for something like this. It did not look difficult, so definitely it would be more of an assessment issue, or intuitively you don't feel good when your king is exposed. That is possible. Mamedharov went f6 and Fabi goes bishop e4, and over here, oh my god, rook a6 played by Mamedharov. He plays rook a6. Very interesting idea which we have been checking out again and again. This pawn is attacked. Of course, maybe now bishop e6 could be in the air, possible, though bishop b7 is still hanging, not sure, but you can even now go bishop d5. Okay, so this is going to be a very interesting game. Anish is thinking for Magnus's queen e2 this time, but Magnus took quite a long time. Yeah, Magnus took actually 17 minutes to play a move like queen e2. Very surprising, because after h4, why would he need such a long time? But let's go to Gukesh's game, because what has happened after h5 is rook g2, bishop f4, queen f4, the bishops got exchanged, and now Nadirbek takes the pawn on g7. So material has come to equal, and now Gukesh is thinking what to do. Gukesh equalized in time. Yes, that's a good point. Learn. So both of them are having around 1 hour 33 minutes. Manvir Singh says it's my birthday today. Wish me and give me a shout out. Happy birthday, Manvir Singh. That is amazing. Narendra Khandekar says, who else other than Guki? Yes, Guki can stop Fabi for sure. Especially when you are playing a tournament and when somebody is leading, you have an extra motivation to wanting to beat the leader. Yeah. Checkmate says, I get scared when I play online, like my heartbeats get fast, I start shivering and my whole body freezes. So does it only happen to me or anyone else too? Let other people answer for you as well. I think it's a good question. That generally happens sometimes in a classical tournament towards at the end of the time pressure. So anyway, over here rook g7 has been played, and guys, you are playing this game with black. What is the move all of you are thinking in this position? It's not a very simple position. In fact, suddenly your queen is out there roaming somewhere. You are yet to develop the c8 bishop. Uske liye either the knight needs to move or the pawn needs to move, but at least 2 moves away from developing the bishop, which means 3 moves away from long castle. 3 moves away from development, and this rook on 7th rank, a little bit scary there for sure, and you will have to be alert. What will you play here? Nadirberg is out of preparation. Yes, he is out of preparation, but the position definitely still is slight initiative for him. Narendra says queen f6 and then queen d4. So that's a good question he has asked. Queen f6 because you are planning a double attack there, and the question is what is white planning to do. By the way, Gukesh plays a move d takes c4, and did anyone guess? Deven Tiwari, you actually wanted to play d takes c4, and that's what Gukesh has played. You are the only one who suggested this move. So well done there. D takes c4 by Gukesh. The point is, if you would have gone queen f6, I like your move, like I like your suggestion, because the question is what is white going to do here? Very fair question. White goes back, and the whole point once again, queen takes d4 if you play. This time you may not have a bishop which is going to jump to e3, but you don't even need a bishop. What you are always threatening, what white is always been threatening since he played e4, was to take here on d5. He wants to take, or maybe there could be rook e3, rook d1, already just looks scary, and you don't want to allow something like this. So that's why Gukesh first released that tension in the center where white had this possibility to capture and open the files where his rooks could come there quickly. So d takes c4, very good move by Gukesh, and bishop takes c4 most probably will be played, recapturing the pawn. Maybe I should also ask a question. What a fool, guys. I was going to ask, can you do long castle? But come on, forgot the queen is on f4. Obviously, that's illegal and that's not happening. So bishop takes c4 over here will be played by Nadirberg, and Gukesh will have to think again. Checkmate asks, does anyone know how I can deal with it? Yes, generally, first of all, when you are not in control, your nerves are weak. So you need to calm yourself down. So how can you gain more control over your mind? It's basically gaining more control over mind. Physically, you need to be fit. You need to have good amount of energy when you are playing. Under time pressure means, you are not distracted at all, even for a moment, and then you use all your reserve energy, basically. That's the whole point. Nikhil Roshan says, please ask chat to like the stream. Beach mein 382 people are watching. Okay guys, 370 people, 380 people, please like the stream so that 380 likes to mil jayenge, and then maybe more people join to cheer up for Gukesh versus Nadirberg and Anish versus Magnus. So there we have this game. We will keep a watch. Let's quickly go to Anish Giri's game, because after queen e2 he's still thinking, and once again 20-minute difference here. He started thinking at which point? No, it was 1 hour 26 minutes. What about Nakamura versus Aryantari? They are in the opening. The game is okay, unclear, slight initiative for Aryantari. Aryantari actually is playing well here. Wesley versus Firuza, oh my god, they have already gone towards a lot of exchanges. Seems like it could enter an Armageddon quickly, because Wesley has 1 hour 40 minutes and Firuza has 1 hour 19 minutes. So highly possible it's their preparation. In fact, in this position, already 17 games have been played. That is funny. So this is preparation. So this game is ending in a draw, we believe. And Fabiano versus Mamedaro, rook a6 has been played, and Fabiano is thinking here. He's still thinking. I think mainly bishop d5 and rook d1 are the moves which could look most tempting. So okay, so I am going to Gukesh's game and keeping this board over here. Let's discuss about this game. Let's discuss about your life and What's going on, guys? थोड़ा तो बताओ, कुछ तो अलग, something different about your life and chess, about your life and chess. वरुण सेज अरे मैं तो रैपिड खेलने चला गया था बिकॉज आपने फैबी का गेम शुरू किया. अरे बट Fabi's game is like, Varun, he has been bringing up such amazing dynamics here, and the combinations which he is able to play, the preparation he is having here. Clearly, that is the reason he is on sole lead. And this time, you have to see his games. They're absolutely amazing. The way he's bringing up the whole thing and calculating. Thank you so much, Learn. Ujjwal says I'm going to Manali. अरे क्या बात है. Oh, typhoon 2 days ago. Where was it? Bishop takes c4 by Nodirbek, by the way. ट्रैवल विथ निखिल रोशन से नए डिज़ाइन अभी तक नहीं आए हैं. जनरली दे आर अराउंड दिवाली आते हैं, दिवाली सेल के पहले. जी दास सेज मी कंप्लीटेड 10th दिस ईयर CBSE बोर्ड स्कोरिंग 96%. वाह, 10th हुआ इसके लिए, वाह. फिर 36 हो या 96 फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. ओके, किडिंग. Nightbot says chat subscribe to ChessBase India Clips channel. ठीक है, हो गए बाकी की बातें. Let's focus on chess again. Now the question Sentil asked, what about Queen F6 now? Okay, and this time once again it's a good question because the double attack continues, and once again we go Rook G3. Why Rook G3 now? Have you realized? The point is the rook can jump to E3